Hi, I'm Tom and this is Adult Game Reviews. I keep getting asked for my favorite VNs. This was so much harder than I expected it to be. I play so many that it was difficult to really narrow down each game. I've also kind of avoided making this type of video because choosing is hard.
So be a big boy and suck it up.
I love aspects of so many games, but I was finally able to narrow it down. So here are my 5 favorite VNs I have ever played. Now, these are all subject to change as new games come out. Maybe something could sneak in here. We'll see. By the way, if you like the video, please like it and subscribe if you aren't. I'm getting close to 50,000 subscribers, which is amazing. I haven't decided if I'm going to do another tier list or something else for 50K, but either way, it's really exciting. For October, we have the best bad girl as the theme. So if you want to vote on the theme for November, come and support me on Patreon or Subscribestar. That vote will be going up pretty soon. Also, let me know your favorite games down below. It would be awesome if we create a giant list of the best games in the comments. Alright, getting into it, none of these are in any specific order. Each of these is my favorite for a couple of reasons, which I will go through. The first one on my list is MBML by B.E.D. This one kind of came out of nowhere for me. The name suggests you're just being picked on by the mean girls, and this story is so much more than that. If anything, I think the name might be a bit misleading. I do have to mention how bad the writing was in the prologue. I mean, it's pretty bad. As I kept playing, the writing improved a lot once you got to chapter 1. Why do I love MBML? Well, mostly for the characters. Each character was easy to connect with, and even though the story can be a bit convoluted, I loved them all. Gwen, Emma, Moon, all wrenched at my heartstrings, and picking a favorite was exceptionally difficult. Weirdly, the writing during the emotional scenes was great, which just added to the emotional depth of the characters. As Nichan continues to improve, I'm really looking forward to seeing it end, hopefully at some point in my lifetime. Next is Once in a Lifetime and Eternum by Charybdis.
That's a cop-out.
Each of Charybdis' games are exceptional. Now, Once in a Lifetime story was rougher than Eternum. The graphics don't look as good, but damn if the story wasn't the funniest I have ever played. Still to this day, if I ever make a VN, I need to reach out to Charybdis to get Stabby Mike to make a cameo. Whereas Eternum is still funny and has great characters, but the story is well crafted and well written. In general, it does basically everything well. Now, it's not done yet like MBML, and this could change, but if I never played Eternum again, it would still be one of my most memorable VN experiences. Moving on to Hush Hush, Only Your Love Can Save Them. This is arguably the best dating sim I have ever played. This is a true choose-your-own-adventure dating sim. The girls are varied, there's voice acting, and as you build your relationships with the girls, you learn more about them, and by the end, I loved them all. It was really hard to pick a favorite here as well. What stood out to me was just how important your decisions are. You have dates with each girl where choosing correctly could mean the girls, or you, die.
It's like that.
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah, it's that serious. The first time I failed, I was surprised, and as I got to know each girl, the choices in the game itself felt more serious and pressing. At that point, dying was even harder to accept. Plus, there are little side quests and things thrown in that are really well done as well. From one girl having to deal with her brother, another dealing with a stalker, or Rainbow Dash with daddy issues.
It's just my parents and I have a delicate relationship.
I wanted to help them all, and it was truly an exceptional experience. Stressful, but fantastic. The next one is super polarizing, and that is Being a Delta Iota Kappa by Dr. Pinkcake. Now, B.A.D has problems. From the problematic storylines, the rampant misogyny.
It's just a joke.
Yeah, sure. It seemed like Dr. Pinkcake may only be half joking here, if you know what I mean. And then never-ending soap opera storyline. I'm also not terribly a fan of the 3 different paths, the chick, neutral, and a-hole paths. However, anyone who loves B.A.D has a playthrough for every possible love interest. It would be hypocritical of me to not add this because the girls are great. Everyone has their favorites, and there's an endless debate about who is the best girl. Just search Reddit for this. Josie, Maya, Jill, Sage, Bella, and all the other side girls. I'm still hoping there's just Sally playthrough in the future, but that might be wishful thinking. The renders by chapter 3 are fantastic, and there's so many mini games that add immersion. It's truly a great game in these ways. I mean, Emily went through all the reasons why she didn't like the game, and I can't argue with any of them. It has problems, but also does things that most VNs don't, and it does them well. Lastly, and this is not a surprise, it's Leap of Faith.
I am shocked. Shocked! Well, not that shocked.
Leap of Faith was really the first game that touched upon some topics that I can't even mention on YouTube without getting dinged. The pain, the emotional depth. I cried multiple times and had to take a break after a few choice scenes. Now, not everyone is going to connect to the level that I did. It was incredibly difficult to play and not choose Cece as my main love interest. One of my personal criticisms are that outside the Cece playthrough, it's kind of an average as far as love interests go VN. However, I will remember my Cece playthrough probably forever. Leap of Faith shaped how I look at all VNs, and I will compare the emotional depth of a VN to Leap of Faith, which is probably a bit unfair to do. So far, lately, there is only one that has come close to me, and that's my honorable mention, and that's Trouble at Home by Cool Kitty Rhymes. Trouble at Home is only on chapter 3, which is why it's not officially on the list. However, chapter 3 of Trouble at Home was one of my favorite chapters of any VN I have ever played. It's also not afraid to touch controversial topics. We will see how the rest of the VN goes, but even if I never touch Trouble at Home again, it stuck with me. So, this was my list of top 5 games I have ever played. This was very difficult difficult because you could make arguments for like Acting Lessons, Intertwined, Artemis, but they just don't quite crack that top 5 for me. If you want to see my next 5 favorite games, let me know down below, or just tell me what your top 5 are. I want to thank all my backers on Patreon and Subscribestar. Also, if you haven't seen my review of Sinner's Landing, you can check that out right here. Thanks again. Until next time.